What's up guys, Nolan here, and today there was an Escape from Tarkov community cast with some streamers and Nikita Buyanov, the lead developer of Escape from Tarkov. Nikita gave us some new details along with a slew of the same old questions he's already answered or will not answer, like what's going on with Streets and when VOIP, as can be expected with all these streams like this. And while we're on that subject, Nikita did confirm that they are working very hard to get 12.12 out by the end of the year, specifically talking about crunch, which in game dev means extended hours. BSG did tease us a bit with this on their Instagram as well, which can literally mean anything. At least most, if not all, of BSG are probably working extended hours and weekends to get this patch to us by the new year. Now, Nikita once again did not confirm it, but I can say again with complete confidence, this patch will be a wipe because it just makes sense and checks all of the boxes for it. In terms of Streets of Tarkov, for those who don't know, it was delayed for new engine tools, so BSG moved most of the art team that was working on it to Lighthouse because they knew they could get Lighthouse finished before the tools were ready for Streets, so Streets is going to be sometime next year. And again, for anyone that's skipping around the video or is hard of hearing, 12.12 is planned to be released before next year. So if you're asking me, I believe it's going to be a wipe, and I believe that we are going to be playing it by January 1st of next year. The only thing that we are waiting on right now to prove any of that is the pre-wipe events, which I expect if they are going to be releasing 12.12 around Christmas time, we'll probably start to see those pre-wipe events in a couple weeks. Could be sooner, could be later, we'll have to wait and see. Now, when discussing patch 12.12, again, BSG are crunching to get it out by the end of the month, and it will include more server-side improvements and optimizations thanks to Unity 19. The quote-unquote sound issues people have been having will also be addressed in 12.12. There will be progression changes to tasks and XP gains, as well as new daily and weekly quest parameters. The ballistic changes in 12.12 that they just recently tweeted about, which you can check out a video on that in the description, will make for more realistic bullet drop and essentially is based on how bullets actually function in game. Nikita confirmed the speed and energy will also drop with the round itself as it reaches farther distances, affecting the round's ability to do damage and penetrate armor. The initial velocity of the round will affect this significantly, and that will be able to be adjusted with certain barrels and attachments in game. Along with the ballistics, there will be the addition of overheating, new malfunctions, and durability effects to weapons. Specifically, when it comes to overheating, you can even still get malfunctions due to the heat in the 5% safe zone of weapon durability. For those who don't know, there will be a safe zone for the first 5 to 10% durability of a new weapon, where you will not get a malfunction now unless it's due to overheating of the weapon. There will also be a new recoil system in 12.12. However, it's mostly around how the weapon acts when overheated. We are not going to see it under normal stresses for the weapon. It's just when it sees extensive full auto fire and heat because of it. Nikita said we might test this on the ETS as well. With all of that put together, we will need to put some significant time into relearning guns and attachments in 12.12. The first iteration of Lighthouse is coming with 12.12, and it will be most of the map, but it will not include the trader or the bosses. Those will come in the second iteration early next year, according to Nikita, where they are actually just waiting on the NPC models and animations for those specific characters. They talked a little bit about VOIP, and pretty much everything I've already said is correct. So if you want to hear about that specifically, check out my video in the description. TLDR, you have nothing to worry about, and VOIP is coming in 12.12. INERTIA is also coming with 12.12, and although Nikita wouldn't give specifics, he wanted everyone to know that it was tested thoroughly and iterated on several times through the ETS to get it to a point where BSG likes it for their game. However, depending on feedback, they are not opposed to making more tweaks to it, so keep that in mind. They mainly wanted to remove the unrealistic movement, which was mostly around that AD spam, and they're confident that they've done that. There will not be any advanced animation work in 12.12. Things like vaulting and climbing ladders requires reworks of maps for the physics and collisions of those static objects involved. They really want to make sure people do not get places that they shouldn't be, mainly underneath the map. Dan Exert, who was one of the streamers on the community cast, brought up an idea about being able to prep certain optics to perform better with specific types of ammunition, and Nikita said there is an advanced zeroing feature that is planned for the future. Nikita said there won't exactly be co-op in the campaign for Escape from Tarkov, but you will be able to complete it at the same time as friends. After he spoke about it a little bit more, it sounded like some pretty heavy Nikita-isms and translation problems, so we're just gonna wait and see what ends up happening with that. There will not be story quests in 12.12. Those are planned for later next year, according to Nikita. For those who don't know, BSG are looking to have the storyline quests, Streets of Tarkov, and the custom rig feature in-game in order to properly estimate a release window for the full game, all of which are planned for next year. So this is going to be a big year coming up, and speaking of that, Nikita did say they are planning to have a huge live stream from the BSG studio with a bunch of the devs around New Year's, where they will show off a ton of stuff that they've been working on, as well as have planned for next year. On top of that, they're also planning to have a Twitch drops event for the New Year's as well. They've had a few non-problematic drops events around wipes now, so I don't expect there to be too many problems with what might be given out as drops around the new economy. I expect there to be things like maybe tree ornaments for the hideout, which if you have enough of, 12, you can barter for some pretty spicy items, then things like chocolate bars and some cosmetic items like Santa hats, but don't expect any GPUs or weapons cases as specific drops this time, unless this event ends up being before the release of 12.12, in which case we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. That was everything from today's community cast with Nikita. If you want to check out the VOD for yourself, I'll leave the link in the description. Otherwise, I'll keep an eye out for more 12.12 news and let you guys know more once I do. Until then, though, for the latest Tarkov news, check out these playlists here. If you like this video, then you know the drill. Please subscribe. I really appreciate the people who do. If you're looking for people to play with, check out our Discord. Links in the description. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.